This episode of the Having It All podcast is sponsored by me, Matthew Bivens, and I absolutely love helping people launch and grow podcasts. My background is in digital marketing, and I'll be honest, when I was first presented with the idea of starting a podcast to grow my brand, I completely shut it down. I thought it was going to be too expensive, too time-consuming, and pull me away from what I really wanted to focus on in my business. But you know what? Shortly after launching the Digital Marketing Guy podcast, I realized that I could have not been more wrong. Podcasting quickly became my favorite and most effective way of reaching a global audience, growing my brand authority, and attracting my ideal client. Today, after successfully launching, growing, and monetizing 3 different podcasts, I help businesses and entrepreneurs do the same. To learn more about how I can help you break into podcasting, go to matthewbivens.com/podcast. Again, that's matthewbivens.com/podcast. Welcome to the Having It All podcast, the show about what it takes to live an abundant, loving life. My name is Matthew Bivens, and each week I'm helping you get out of your head so that you can truly have it all. Let's do it. What is going on, everybody? Matthew Bivens here, and I am excited for this conversation we're about to have. Actually, I'm getting this recording in like right under the wire. What I mean by that is in my recording yesterday, in the episode I recorded yesterday and published today, I said that I have set a goal for myself to record something every day for the next 30 days. So whether it's a full-blown episode or whether it's just a quick thought that I had, I wanted to work on building that habit of recording and creating content every day, and I almost freaking forgot. It's like almost 11 p.m. right now. I was just wrapping up a few things before going to bed, and it popped in my mind like, holy crap, I didn't record. And it was a good thing that I wrote it down because I think had I not made that one of my goals and actually written it down, I wouldn't have gotten it done. I wouldn't be here right now recording. I probably would have remembered, as I was falling asleep or probably just tomorrow morning. But it's cool that that it happened because this is kind of related to what I wanted to talk about today. Today I want to talk about law of attraction a little bit. And for certain folks listening, you might hear the phrase law of attraction and just be completely turned off by it. You might hear that phrase and be like, well, what the heck is that? I don't really know what that is. And that's cool. I have an interesting relationship with law of attraction. And so I'm going to share some of my thoughts on it and some of the way that I use the law of attraction in my life. So I think the best place to start is going to be to just describe what law of attraction is. So the law of attraction is this idea that you can create in your life whatever it is that you focus on. So you focus on something, you really visualize it, then boom, you can manifest it in your life. Now, a lot of folks who are very anti-law of attraction, they don't like that concept because it's one of those things that I think you can easily just believe that people have this thought in their mind that, oh, all I have to do is think about something and I can have it. So if I want a new car, I just think about it. I put that thought out into the universe. I can sit back and relax and boom, a new car shows up. And it's this sort of, law of attraction it's kind of grown in popularity, I guess, or maybe it's like more of a trendy thing these days. And I just think that it's gotten, I don't know, it's pretty polarizing. Some camps are all about it and they talk about it a whole lot. Other camps are just like, no, anything that even sounds like law of attraction, you sort of file it away in that hippie, frou-frou, don't know what the heck they're talking about type of conversation, and that just goes in the corner and we don't look at it. So for myself, I talk to people and I run in circles with folks who are very much into law of attraction. And I think when I first started to understand the concept, I was incredibly like, yeah, that's some BS. That doesn't actually happen. And anybody who believes that is a little crazy for believing that. And, there's a part of me that still honestly feels that way. But I approached that idea with a lot of skepticism. I'm a person who was always gravitated towards science and really, having research and data and information to back up certain claims. And so, I felt, hey, listen, people who want to just put things out there and say the universe will take care of it, I just have to put it out there. I thought cool for them, but it doesn't actually work. So they'll just be walking around wishing for things all day long and stuff doesn't happen. I can't say my position in that way has 100% changed now, but I have sort of softened my feelings about law of attraction and have embraced it in a lot of ways these days. And it comes from experience. It comes from trying things out and experimenting in my own life. And so for me right now, the way that I view law of attraction, I still practice it in the same way that, I mocked in the past. I'm very intentional about things that I want to create in my life, from experiences with Sarah and the type of, intimate relationship I want with her, to physical things I want to come into my world. Like right now, Sarah and I are looking to create a new dining room table. We would love a dining room table. And after that, we're interested in creating a new couch. After that, we want to replace a laptop. And after that, we want to build the funds to go on a great vacation to Disney World, take Maya to Disney World for the first time. So all of those things, physical, tangible things like a computer, or experiential, emotional things like, deeper sense of intimacy with Sarah, to, all sorts of things. We're very, very intentional about putting those things, and I'm going to use this phrase, putting those things out into the universe. What that looks like for us is sitting down, opening up a document on our computer, and writing down those things that we want to create, manifest, experience in our lives. Like, we did this exercise about a week and a half ago, and we literally have a Google Doc, that just goes line by line. It starts out with kids, and so we're visualizing the type of family that we want to have. And then it goes to house. What type of home do we want to live in? And how many rooms? What size of the bathroom? We just kind of went through all the different things we wanted to create and experience in our lives, and we put it down. So that in and of itself, I don't think is too crazy, right? Like, that's very similar to goal setting. You have something you want to create, or you have something you want to achieve or accomplish, so you turn it into a goal. You write that goal down on a piece of paper, right? That's why I'm recording right now, because I wrote the goal down of recording for 30 days, and holy crap, at 11 o'clock, I realized, oh my gosh, I got to do this. I need to accomplish this. And it's because I wrote that goal down, and it just kind of, gave me that repetition of remembering that goal in my mind. So law of attraction, the way that I practice it, is very similar to that. Now, here is where some of my personal belief, some of my background in studying psychology, and that my leanings towards some of the science stuff comes into play when it comes to law of attraction. I believe, and I've experienced this in myself, that when we put something out into the universe, when we put out an intention, when I say I want to create the new dining room table, what that does is just simply having that thought, stating that thought, being very clear around that thought and visualizing it, it shifts your behavior. And that's why I think people experience true manifestation from law of attraction, because I believe it shifts your behavior. And I believe that when you are putting things out there into the mass awareness, into the awareness of other people, it shifts their behavior as well. So right now, even if it's in the very farthest back corners of my mind, I'm thinking about creating this dining room table, right? And if I'm just kind of hanging out on Facebook, I might be inspired to shoot out a message on my wall. Hey, I'm looking for dining room table, rectangle, 2 chairs and a bench. Does anybody have one? Right? Like that idea might pop into my mind, or maybe I send it to a buddy of mine who I know is connected with different furniture resources or things like that, or maybe I share the idea or share the thought, share the desire with my Tuesday night fitness group. Because I've set that intention, because I've gotten clear on it, because I've taken a moment to write it down, it's been implanted in my head, and now my behavior is altered because of that. I'm taking actions in some way. Some actions are significant, some are very subtle, some are very small, but I'm taking some sort of action towards making that thing happen. Even if that action is simply, letting one other person know. Well, now it's out there. Now that idea, now that desire is out there for myself to do something with, or for other people to do something with. So, I still have my own personal, I don't know if you want to call them reservations or bias or whatever it is, about law of attraction simply being, if I sit here and state that I want something and I truly want it enough, it's going to happen without any further activity on my part. I do have a bit of a challenge kind of grasping that idea, but you know what? I'll be honest. How do I actually know that it doesn't work exactly like that? How do I know for certain? I can't. I honestly can't. And so I do my very best to not judge and not poo-poo on the folks who are like all about law of attraction, right? They just put things out left and right. Cool, because I truly don't know. But what I do know for myself, and what I do know for the people who I've talked to this about, others like me who are really into the idea, but just want to ground it a little bit more and feel like, okay, I get why this works. What I know from those experiences that when I am clear on what I want to create in life, and clarity is the key. When I am clear on what I want to create, things within me shift. My behavior shifts. My attitude shifts. My outlook shifts. I mean, that is it. That's a big part of it, right? Like, if I don't believe that I can manifest $20,000 to go buy a brand new car, if I don't believe that, well, then I'm most likely not going to make it happen. I'm not going to put in any energy towards making that goal happen. I'm not going to feel inspired to try to find a way to get that car if I don't truly believe it. So there are some components to this law of attraction stuff that I think that you can cultivate. And I think you can practice this thing. I think you can practice this stuff. And what I encourage for you, if you're skeptical like me, if you've never heard of it, or maybe you are, somebody who has tried it in the past, but like, nah, just don't get in with this stuff, maybe give it another shot. Give it another shot. And I recommend being incredibly clear about what you want to create, about what you want to experience. Visualize it. Take 60 seconds. Just pull out your phone, 60-second timer, close your eyes, and visualize what it is that you want. If it's, a vacation, visualize how you're going to feel once you purchase those tickets, or once you get on that plane, or once you check into your hotel. Visualize those feelings. Visualize what it feels like to sit in that new car, or to put on those new shoes, or to open up that new phone. Like, dang, wow, what does that feel like? Really try to connect with that emotion as if you already have it. And then write down what it is that you want. Get very clear on it. Write it down on a piece of paper. Sarah and I use whiteboards. We have a whiteboard in our kitchen. The top half has the goals, the things that we want to hit this week, the 3 goals that each of us want to accomplish. And the bottom half has our menu. So we see this thing all the time. our goals and what we want to create and what we want to experience are constantly in front of us. We also have a piece of paper that lists, it's literally like things that we want to purchase with a price point next to it. It's been on my wall since February. We did a new one in February. And as we create the funds, or as those things are gifted to us, we just scratch it off. But it's this idea of visualizing what you want, experiencing what you want, writing it down, taking the time to write it down, and then have it in front of you. Have that constant reminder about what you're playing for. I will go as close to guarantee as I can that your behaviors will shift as a result. And it's those shifts in behaviors that are going to get you closer to actually creating that thing that you want to create. So that was the little download I had as I realized, holy crap, I forgot to record today. But you know, it's a powerful one, and I am excited to hear your feedback. You know, I want to hear your feedback on this idea. You know, what do you think of the law of attraction? What have you experienced with it? What are your thoughts on it? Let me know. You can email me at mattcbivens@gmail.com, or you can go on my website, matthewbivens.com, click on the contact link, and drop me a note in the contact form, and I will read it. I will respond to you. We'll get into a dialogue, and we'll share some knowledge. So that'll be a beautiful thing. Also, I have upgraded the equipment for the podcast recently, so let me know what you think. Does it sound better to you? Does it sound worse? You know, right now I'm recording in my den, so it's pretty big space, and I hear a little bit of an echo, but I don't know. Let me know if you can hear it. And overall, just give me some show feedback. I love receiving feedback on the show, so I would appreciate it. And lastly, I'm just grateful to you, grateful for your time and listening and your ear. I'm grateful for your emails and just for you being awesome. I appreciate it. I do this for you, so it's a great thing. My name is Matthew Bivens, and here is to you having it all.